from Sew Liberated, and today I'm going to be showing you how to sew your very own Stasia dress. This is a great pattern if you've never sewn knits before. Make sure that you have a jersey or stretch needle and know the stretch stitch setting on your machine. I'm going to be finishing my seams with an overlocker, but if you don't have a serger or overlocker, you can use a finishing stitch like a wide zigzag on just your regular machine. Let's get started.
Begin by stitching together the center front and center back skirt pieces. You can differentiate the two because the front piece angles towards the center. Pin them right sides together. Stitch your center seam using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Repeat this for the back skirt pieces. Using a serger or other finishing technique, finish your seams together. If you find your seams look a little bit wavy after you've serged them, just slowly press them flat using a little bit of steam. Carefully press your front seam to one side. Mark the center bottom edge of the bodice front piece with a fabric marker or pin. Place the bodice front and skirt front right sides together, matching the bottom raw edge of the bodice to the top raw edge of the skirt. Match the center front of the bodice to the center seam of the skirt. Pin in place. Stitch using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, pivoting slightly at the center front. Repeat these steps to join the bodice back and skirt back. No pivoting is necessary for the back seam. Using a pressing ham or seam roll, press the seam up towards the bodice. Place front and back shoulder edges right sides together, matching the raw edges. Pin in place. Stitch the shoulder seams using a 1/4 inch seam allowance and finish as you have the other seams. Open the dress and place on a flat surface with the right side facing up. Place the first sleeve right sides together with the dress, matching the raw edges. Match the shoulder notch of the sleeve to the shoulder seam of the dress and match the front and back notches on the side edges. Pin in place. Sew your shoulder seam, taking care around the curve. Repeat these steps for the second sleeve. Carefully press your shoulder seams towards the sleeve. Place the dress front and dress back right sides together, matching the side raw edges, underarm seam, and notches. Pick one side and stitch the sleeve and side seam in one continuous seam beginning at the sleeve edge. If including pockets in the dress, pivot at the top of the pocket, stitch around the pocket, and pivot again as shown on the pattern. Continue down the length of the skirt and repeat on the other side. Place the short ends of the neckband right side together, matching the raw edges. Pin and stitch. Press the seam allowance open. Fold the band in half lengthwise with wrong sides together, matching the long raw edges. Press in place. Find and mark the center back of the dress neckline. Place the neckband on the right side of the dress neckline edge with the neckband seam matched to the center back of the neckline. Keep the raw edges of the band even with the raw neckline edge. Match the neckband notches to the shoulder seams and pin the band in place, easing as necessary. Carefully stitch the neckband to the right side of the dress. Press the seam allowance towards the dress and the neckband away from the dress.
You're almost finished sewing your Stasia dress. There's only a few steps left. Before you move on to top stitching your neckband and hemming your sleeves and skirt, make sure you switch your machine over to a twin needle.
Secure the seam allowance to the dress using pins or Wonder Tape, and top stitch through all of the layers using a double needle or other stitch that you prefer. Trim away any excess seam allowance fabric on the inside of the dress. The last step is to hem the sleeves and skirt using your preferred method. I'm going to use Heat and Bond Soft Stretch to fold my seam allowances up and top stitch in place with a double needle to match my neckline seam. Using a double needle, top stitch from the right side of the sleeve at about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Repeat this step for your other sleeve and your skirt.
Thank you so much for following along for our Stasia sew along. I hope you enjoyed making it, and I hope you love your new dress.